Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my performance review of the brand new Puma Stewie 3, right? It's not brand new, it came out a couple weeks ago, but yeah, this is Breanna Stewart's signature shoe with Puma, and she's had a pretty solid signature shoe line with Puma, but the Stewie 1 and Stewie 2 weren't like amazing performers in my personal opinion. But the Stewie 3, the thing that kind of caught my eye is that it looks good though. You know what I mean? This colorway looks great. The overall silhouette of the shoe, the design looks great as well. But the reason I was very excited about the shoe is that it has a drop in midsole, right? The Stewie 3 retails for $125. So if you guys do want to cop it, try to leave in the free link in the description box. If you do choose to buy this shoe, it does help me out if you buy it through the link. So as always, thank you guys so much for all the support. But let's get it started right off with the Tracciones. And the traction is doo-doo, right? It's so bad on dust. How is it on a clean court, however? It has a pretty good on a clean court, right? It's not super amazing, you know what I mean? It's not a very hard stop. It's not even top tier, but it's pretty solid. You know, if you're playing on a clean court and you break it in, by the way, you do need to break it in. You know, once you break it in, it gets a little bit better on a clean court. So I guess if you're playing on an immaculate court, go ahead and get the Stewie 3's best. Pretty much every hoop shoe, right? But most people are playing on like 24-hour fitness, LA fitness courts, very dirty. They don't really clean it that much. And oh my goodness, guys, it was just sliding all over the dang place on a dusty court. It picks up dust very quickly. It's affected by dust a lot. So even if there's a little bit of dust on there, it would just slide around like crazy. Like even on my desk, right? Just that's what it would sound like, you know what I mean? There's a little bit of a squeak once you break it in, but it's not super loud or anything. Which of course, squeak has nothing to do with performance, but I feel like most hoopers like a squeaky shoe, right? But yeah, the outsole doesn't squeak that much. So yeah, I feel like it's because the grooves are so freaking close together. Look at that. It's just so close together and the grooves are so fine that just traps dust so well in between the grooves. So it's just very bad on dust. It's a dust magnet. Just sliding around a lot. So yeah, just be careful with that. And also durability wise, yeah, I don't even know what they were thinking. Why would you make a traction pattern like this? You know, maybe remove one line of grooves in between every groove and make it a little bit more spaced apart so it doesn't grab as much dust, but also make the grooves thicker. It's just, this rubber is so thin and soft that it's just not gonna be good for an outdoor court, right? So yeah, the traction, because of that, it was just, I really didn't like playing in the shoe. I was just sliding around all over the place, and it was dusty when I was playing, right? It's been pretty dry, it's summer now, but there's a lot of shoes that were amazing, right? I've been playing in the Ranger 1s, I've been playing in the 361, you know, Big 3 5.0 Quick and the Quick Pro. The Equalizer 247 was really nice as well. And this was just like picking up dust, and I was just sliding around all over the place. So yeah, traction is doo-doo, right? And now moving on to the heel to toe transition, also pretty bad. It's not smooth at all. I don't know what it is with designers when they add a drop in midsole to the shoe. Why is it just rubber? Why? I don't know what Puma does, but like Puma with their rubber is just so stiff. It's just so stiff with the rubber. You know, maybe they make it super thick. I don't know what they do, but yeah, here in the heel it's just so stiff, so clunky here in the heel, and it's a pretty edged out shape as well. Look at that. Look at how edged out it is. So it's not even like that smooth. You know, I wish they would have rounded it out a little bit more, make it a little bit more curved, but anyways, it doesn't feel good here in the heel. And then coming here to the forefoot, we have a little bit of a curved shape. It's not even that curved either. You know what I mean? It is very flexible, however, here in the forefoot, right? You need to put a little bit of force into it, but it does flex pretty easily. So that feels kind of nice, but overall heel to toe transition is pretty clunky, which is one thing that I didn't like about this shoe, right? It's bottom heavy and it doesn't feel very responsive because of the traction, right? The bad traction. So anyways, there's that. Moving on to the cushioning setup. So the cushioning setup is something that I really liked because of the drop-in. The drop-in feels really good, right? So you can see this really nice blue color with it. But yeah, we do have a midfoot chain plate that's bottom loaded into the drop-in, and also bottom loaded forefoot setup, right? It's a little bit softer than the nitro foam that they're using, but yeah, I really like it because it's just so freaking soft and comfortable, right? So step and comfort is amazing, right? And it has pretty good court feel. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. And also I really like the texture on the actual foam. It's sticky, so it grabs your sock. It also improves lockdown a good amount. So yeah, step and comfort and under the cushion is really nice. There's a nice compression, it's comfortable, and there's a nice little bounce as well. However, outside of the shoe, right, there is no compression from the actual midsole because there is no actual exposed midsole, right? That's like on the shoe, which is pretty traditional. But yeah, because of that, it does feel pretty clunky. But then once you kind of get over the clunk, then your heel or your foot goes into the cushion. That feels really nice, right? So I do like the drop in, but I don't like this. You know what I mean? Overall impact protection is nice, but again, clunky. But your foot isn't gonna hurt that much because of the soft foam that they're using with the nitro foam. So yeah, not a huge fan of the cushioning setup from like the outside of the shoe, but I do like the drop in. So there is the cushioning setup there. Moving on to the upper, so they are using an EM material and it feels pretty dang nice, right? Overall, it's really supportive, right? It doesn't stretch at all, but it's overall pretty thin. It feels nice for quality as well. It conforms to your foot pretty dang well, and it gets softer once you break it in, right? It does feel a little bit glued down, however, but it's not even that bad. There's also a nice little thin layer of fuse around the toe box for extra durability and support. And I also really like the tongue. The tongue has a nice bit of padding. It feels nice and cozy on top of your foot. It's also a half booty construction tongue, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit. Not a huge fan of the tapeworm laces, however, you know, it just kind of like goes over the other laces, so it makes it a little bit more annoying to tie up the laces, but not a huge deal. We can see her logo on top of the tongue as well. And then here in the ankle area, we have very a little bit less than average actually amount of padding. You know, it's not super well padded, but there also is a little bit of padding there. So yeah, overall the upper quality and also how it feels on foot is really nice, especially once you break it in. Also really like the design of the plastic piece right here. You know what I mean? I also really like the overall theme of the shoe, which is flowers, right? Which is pretty cool. So there is the upper there. And now moving on to the fit. So this is a women's shoe, so it's going to be in women's sizing. So just go up a full size and a half. So if you're a size 9 in men's, make sure to go a size 10 and a half in women's, right? But I did go up half a size. So I guess go up 2 sizes. You know what I mean? Because if I went true to size, I definitely feel like this shoe would have been really snug. But yeah, I did go up half a size, and because I did that, it's a very nice snug fit for me still, right? So there is a little bit of length, but it is a really snug fit here in the toe box. And also width-wise, I would say it is a slightly narrow. And because of the texture on the actual drop-in midsole, it just improves the lockdown. So I didn't really mind the extra length, right? So the overall fit for me going up half a size is actually pretty dang good. It fits me pretty dang well. So there is the fit there. And if you have a wide foot, probably go up a full size. So I guess 2 sizes and a half, right? But if you have a normal foot and you still want a pretty snug fit, then go up 2 sizes. So there is a fit there. Moving on to support and lockdown, really nice, right? So lateral containment, first of all, we have the drop-in midsole, which has a raised sidewall, right? So it's not super high up, you know what I mean? Like most other drop-ins are, but it does still come up. So that'll be good, of course, for lateral containment. But also here on the outside of the shoe, we have this rubber coming up, acting as sidewall too. Here in the forefoot, pretty much. And then here in the heel, we have an internal TPU heel counter with this plastic piece. So yeah, lateral containment, you're gonna be good to go. Even if you're a bigger guy, your foot is not coming out of the footbed at all. Also, lateral stability isn't the best. I mean, Puma, I don't know what they're doing with their lateral stability, but all their shoes, like they don't have an outrigger. Remember, look at this, it just stops here. So it's not the widest base. So I mean, it's not like I was rolling my ankle or anything, but it didn't feel super laterally stable, you know what I mean? So that kind of is a bummer. Overall lockdown was good though. I didn't have any heel slippage, and once I tightened the laces, I was good to go. My foot felt locked into the shoe, especially with that texture on the drop-in, right? So there is that. Moving on to the weight of the shoe, this shoe is also pretty freaking heavy, you know what I mean? Like usually with drop-ins, you can make the shoe a lot lighter, you know what I mean? But yeah, this shoe is like, yeah, 14.35 ounces, guys, for a low top shoe. 14.7 ounces. That's freaking crazy. And it's definitely not coming from the upper, and also not coming from the drop-in. The drop-in is actually quite light. I think it's like, what, 1.5 to 2 ounces or something? Let's check actually. Oh no, 2.6 ounces. It's a little bit heavier than average for a drop-in, but it's not that heavy, you know? It probably has to do with all this rubber, especially here in the heel. This is super stiff and very, very thick. I don't know why they made it so thick, you know? But yeah, this shoe feels pretty dang bottom heavy, especially here in the heel. It feels clunky and it's not very responsive because the traction just isn't that good, especially on dust. So yeah, that was definitely a bummer. I really wanted to like this shoe, you know what I mean? But didn't really like it all too much, you know? And now moving on to the aesthetics, this shoe looks great. You know, it's a great looking shoe. Whoever designed it did an amazing job. I love the colorways that are coming out. I love the floral theme of the overall shoe. It just doesn't perform very well in my personal opinion, you know? And also ventilation isn't the best. There's not a whole lot of airflow, right? There's actually no airflow. There's an underlaying material. This EM is also glued down. There's no ventilation holes either. So yeah, this shoe is pretty dang hot. So wrapping things up, yeah, I really wanted to like it because I love drop-in midsoles. And like I said, the drop-in midsole is nice. The foam that they're using is nice. It's just the overall shoe does not feel nice. The traction, not good. The cushion, not that nice because it's pretty dang clunky. Heel to toe transition is clunky. It's bottom heavy. It's heavy. So because of those reasons, I just did not like playing in the Stewie 3 that much. You know what I mean? So yeah, I wouldn't really recommend it to you guys all too much. You know what I mean? Like if you're a bigger dude, I guess, then maybe, you know, it has really good support and the underfoot cushion is really, really nice. It's just a little clunky, but if you're like just normally backing people down, doing post-up moves, I don't think it's a huge deal, you know what I mean? But if you're a guard, right, and you need good traction, you need something lightweight and also responsive feeling and smooth feeling, this shoe is definitely not good, right? So anyways, that about concludes my performance review of the Puma Stewie 3. I did not enjoy playing the shoe that much. Again, if you guys do want to cop, however, I'll try to leave a link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.